Too damn close to you. Black nails, dark room. I'm suicidal too. If I had my way with you, was I really feeding you? Gotta make a choice. What I'm gonna do? You push me close to the edge. Red roses, I'm guilty. Need her in your bed. How far do you wanna go? Do you really wanna know? How deep does the pain go?
Make sure y'all share this live.
No need for questions. I'm crazy in the head. Schizophrenic, success.
I know Corday's doing his thing, this album, man. Naked Truth by Corday from G Status.
All that voice and that little bitty man.
Yes, Corday, G Status, ATL Hustle. You already
Yes.
know. Go get that. Yo, we got an exciting show today. We got a wonderful show today. I actually been waiting for this guest today because I just wanted to get in his mind of
His
what's going
brain
on.
cells.
So, you already know what time it is. It's the Royal Couch presents the G Status Hustle
G-Status.
Review After Show. And we got a special
After party.
guest today.
Oh, sorry. I want to did him up.
Oh, you did, yeah. We got a special guest today. JAH, the producer, will be in the building. I know we expecting an episode.
Yes, a fine producer. So good.
Yes.
So
We was expecting an episode today, but he is coming up here to explain what's going on, what happened.
Just think he was not about to give us no mess. He wanted to
No
come
mess.
up
And
with
that's what I like. I like
Yes.
it. Because a lot of other people would have just gave a half-ass
jump
job.
right on.
Yes. So I'm excited about that. But as you know how we like to start this, we want to start off by, giving our little review and letting you know what's going on. But you already know before we start that, it's the Royal Couch with who? Key and King.
Aye.
Key and King.
King and
Key and
and
King.
King.
Key and King. Key and King. Key and King. Key and King. Key
Justice hard
and
today.
King. Key and King.
Okay, man.
Key and King.
Okay. I wonder if people be like around the world going, "Aight."
Right. Look, we're about to have a challenge. That's cute. So as we get started.
In a little.
As we get started. So today, it wasn't the episode that we always waiting for, but it was an episode that I did get into a little bit because I like to know my cast members. And it did kind of a run through on all the cast members on their audition tapes and stuff like that, which was cute. And you like to see how they kind of interacted. Like we saw Milan's audition tape, we saw Zafar's.
She was hilarious.
Yes. See, Milan, that she gives that all day, every day. So that's why I don't think it's a front, and that's why I love her on G Status.
And Sherrod is exactly who he said he is.
Sherrod is exactly who he said he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody gave, and I'm glad they did this
Cute.
special with Trufine because I feel like I really still don't know him.
Trufine be chilling.
He be chilling.
He be
He's the
chilling.
most paid. What is the most
He
paid
said-
bitch on the?
He said this is for ghetto.
This is for ghetto.
For ghetto.
I can't stand.
I
But
fuck
no,
with
it
you,
was
Trufine.
so exciting. I like stuff like this because, like I said, it lets you get into their life a little bit more. And even though
extra
Trufine was
voice.
being a little shady in his little clips and stuff like that, I think it's cute. I like how they're doing this and they're keeping us aware behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, and I like that.
And it's not so messy. I think they all just giving their opinions. It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. One thing that they all kind of all agreed on was they don't like the fake and phoniness that Atlanta gives.
Who said that like 50 million times? Which one was that? I can't remember.
All
Fake
of them
and phony,
on-
fake and... But remember they
Yeah,
repeated
yeah,
it back, their back, their
I
back.
think it was Safar, if I'm not mistaken.
Charlie gave a good little scene to it.
Look, Charlie, he just knew he was coming up. Look, that's a boy that knows his shit.
Charlie is trained and maintained.
Hello, he comes, surgery, and gets away. Ja, I need you. I saw you first. You was available before, but make sure your phone is landscape and you are on your phone so that we can add you in. Once you do that, add us in so we can have you come in and chime in on the conversation. But
new little school bug coming in trying to tear up.
that is that's what I was gonna get into. So I'm glad you brought that up because they ended that cute.
What December?
What Dre-sember?
Dre-sember? The one to remember?
The one to remember.
I remember, baby. You was doing a lot.
Hey, he came. You know what? The season has already started and is halfway through. So I feel like he felt like he had to come and make his mark.
And child, it looked like he making a whole bunch of marks up. Ain't nobody fighting. Don't fight y'all. Because Sherrod popped that drink out his hand.
He sure did. That's what they showed.
What's wrong, Sherrod? What he did, bro? Call me.
Well, I think everybody keeps coming for Sherrod, and I just feel like he just be like, what is
What
it?
happened? I know y'all can't tell us, but Lord, give me the judge.
Ja, are you still in here? We want to get you back in. Make sure your landscape. Oh, there you go. So we're going to bring on the one. So we can continue this conversation. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be amazing. And make sure y'all go subscribe to G Status ATL Hustle on YouTube.
Hey!
What's going on?
Hey!
Look at you all muscly and
Right?
stuff.
I was right now. A little bit.
Look, a little bit.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So gorgeous. What's going on? How you been?
What's going on, Castro?
I've been good. How you guys been?
We are great.
Maintaining.
I don't know if you heard, but I'm excited for this because I've been wanting to have you on the show for the longest
To pick your
time.
brain.
To get into your mind, your brain, and see what it is because honestly, you're a genius because you have something, a phenomenon in your hand. Like this is an amazing show. Editing, the cast, production. I mean, salute to you
Wow,
because
thank
you're doing an
you so
amazing
much.
job.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I really do. That feels really good to hear. Honestly,
Good.
thank you.
So look, before we get started, we like to do things a little different here. Let everybody know your social media. Let's start off with that.
Yeah. So my social media, just Instagram. You guys can follow me, JAH Kitai, so JAHJAHKITAII.
Oh, I know that's right. And so we like to go back before we get into
Okay.
G status, right? We like to go back and get to know who you are. So I want to get, let our viewers get a little taste of you. So when,
Rewind.
yes, let's rewind. When was this idea, and when did you know that you can produce something at this magnitude?
So the idea came actually a while back, probably about 2, 3 years ago almost.
Hmm.
A lady that I was working with, she is a radio personality in Atlanta, and she pretty much came up with this idea of putting together a reality show based in Atlanta that would have different members of the LBGTQ community, and she wanted me to be a part of it. And long story short, it just did not work out. And I pretty much just told her, could I help her produce it? And it just did not work out when it came to me producing it. Pretty much we just kind of battled a lot of problems because, my mindset was I was trying to like tap into like a younger crowd, and she wanted to go for a much older crowd, and we just could not kind of see eye to eye when it came to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to, move forward, and that's when I reached out to KL. I'm actually
Yes.
KL, shout out to KL.
Yes.
yeah. So I reached out to KL, and he was working on a project called G Status, and I was working on a project called ATL Hustle. And we just kind of combined minds and all that good stuff.
Cool. That's cool. So
Yeah. That's pretty much how that kind of came about for us to actually do the actual show. Like I said, I was working on doing a reality show before, and it just didn't work out with the producer. But I knew that I wanted to continue the whole idea of trying to put together a reality show. My biggest goal was to hopefully be able to inspire somebody and have these different stories that people feel like they can connect with, or these different personalities on the show that people feel like they can connect with. So that was like the biggest goal for me.
So tell me that day when your first day filming. This is legit. This is about to happen. Pulling out the cameras, getting production together. How did that feel? What was that day like for you?
Oh, wow. So that day for me was, I'm the type of person that, in the midst of everything, I am very much so like just shook. And I just feel like I don't know what's going on. I'm just like scared. I'm nervous. I'm like anxious. And so many different emotions are coming out. So many different emotions I am feeling at those moments. And during those moments, my mind is like completely racing, and I'm thinking about so much different things. But once it's actually done, that's when I'm able to be like, okay, I feel good about it. But during the moment, I was very much so scared. I was nervous. I felt like, okay, what if this does not work out? Like the process before we actually did our first scene, it took a minute. We had to, of course, find the cast members. We had to pretty much make sure that we had the equipment to do it, and we had to make sure that we had a actual location that was okay with us filming. So that scene with Sherrod and Tramel, that was literally the first scene. That was literally the first scene. And it was, for me, it was a dream come true because it was like, okay, this is actually something I said,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually, so it felt good. Yeah.
Well, that's what's up.
That's cool.
That is nice to know. Like, and now we can pinpoint that moment. Like, we
Right.
seen them sitting at the table having that conversation, and I got this picture. You like,
Yes.
Well,
Yes. It was like, okay, it's actually happening. It's actually happening because I mean, like I said, it took me 2 years to really be able to actually have it happen where it was something that I felt comfortable. It was something that I was proud of. It took a minute. So I felt so blessed, and I was so honored, and I felt so good because, for me, I worked towards literally just that moment was everything for me. Yeah. That first scene, like, for sure.
and now look at this episode 10, baby.
Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Jordan. So going in it, picking back off of what he said, that first day that it happened, you filmed. Now, what is that mindset afterwards, where you're like, okay, now it's here. now we have to go with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's not one episode and let's pull back. It's like now you have a whole season to go with. Now, is that
Oh,
like overwhelming? What is that feeling like?
it is. It is because I'm a perfectionist. So I want to do the best that I can do with the tools that I have. So I definitely stress myself out a lot when it comes to this show, and people have no idea because it's not just okay. I'm just putting out content. No, it's people that are coming back for it. It's people that want it. It's people that are getting inspired by it. I mean, the amount of messages that I get from my personal DMs or from the actual show's DMs are amazing. And for me, those are the moments that makes me. Those are the moments that make me feel like, okay, what you're doing is not in vain. Keep doing it. Keep pushing. When people are connected with it, when people are telling me that they love it and they are entertained by it, or when I am at the barbershop, for example, and people don't even know that I actually produced the show, and they're just talking about the show, and I'm just like, you guys have no idea.
Wow.
Those are like that make me feel like, okay, wow, I'm doing something. You know what I mean?
Wow. That just touched me, like,
That is dope because you know what? Your mindset behind it shows in the quality
It
of
definitely
work
does.
that you do and the inspiration. Like I grasp that. Like I am motivated to watch this because look,
You
let's
can see
be
the
real.
fight.
Let's be blunt. We're gay men here in the industry, and
Yeah.
I'm
Not gay, I'm a unicorn.
hello. We started our company a year ago, and it was just like that where it's like, okay, we plan, we do this, and now that we put that first flyer out, we first did our first party, it's like,
Keep
well,
going.
now we got to keep going. So now
Yeah.
we got the show and it keeps going. So I definitely understand, and it's people like you that motivate people like us to keep going
Right.
because your success
You
is
guys-
amazing.
And you guys motivate me, and I'm so proud of what you guys are doing as well. I'm so thankful you guys have been, so positive with me. It feels, it's a good feeling.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, no, because it was your humbleness. I reached out.
Right.
You was just like, of course, yes, let's work together. We
Yeah.
got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes more of that in our community
Exactly.
for us to shine more and for us to be in the main light that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? That mainstream where it's not so weird or so like, oh my God, what are they doing there? It's things like this that we got to help each other, pick each other up, and keep it going. So thank you for that.
What are your to go a little bit more behind the scenes of who JAH is? What are some of the things that keep you grounded? What are your hobbies? Like what's some of the things that we might not know? Some other hidden talent.
Literally, I work 2 jobs,
Mm.
home, and I work on the show. And I try to have a personal life, within that, which is good stuff. But literally that's what my life is. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with, pushing myself and completely feeling discouraged, and then, kind of having those moments where I'm feeling really down, and then, I come out on the other end. I'm okay with those moments. I feel like those moments are what makes me, the guy that I am. And those are the moments that I feel like I need to kind of grow and, I feel like everybody needs a testimony, and those are my testimonial parts. Well, the testimonial parts of my life, for sure, is when I'm feeling very, down about the whole entire situation, and I'm feeling like, okay, what is going to give? Why is life so difficult right now? Right. And when I'm feeling like that, the moment that I'm feeling that, I get through those obstacles and I'm feeling good about life, those are the moments that I look forward to, for sure. Those are like the best moments for me. It's when I actually get through those obstacles that I'm facing and push forward. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Perfectly good sense.
Yes,
Perfectly good sense.
It does.
Yeah.
You got me tearing up.
Look, we picked some great people. Look,
And it's just like it's real therapy because like you said, we grasp to each other, and you do inspire a lot. And I will speak for myself, and he's spoken. A lot of times we've had your guests and the people from the cast on the show, and it's really a mirror image to hear some of the things that you go through. It's like it makes me sit here and like, yo, it's okay. You're supposed to feel like this. Just do not stay down. You know what I'm saying? Don't stay down because I see what you're doing. If
Oh yes.
You can do what I can do, and that's how the world need to be right now. Like the blessings are everywhere. Thank you for telling your story. Lord knows. See, give him
Oh yeah.
I know.
I had to pinch him on the low because I was like, oh my God, he's punching me in my stomach.
No, but this is the stuff that we need, and this is why I love our show, because there's enough ratchetness out there that,
Yeah.
especially that is that cloud over our community itself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, let that be over there. And yes, we can have fun and we can kiki and laugh and stuff like that. But
take time for the serious moments too.
The
Take
serious
time for
moments
that.
is what counts, because the serious moments like this is what's helping everybody else out
Right.
here. You know what I'm saying? To let us know that we can do it. So thank you for that. And I gotta say, you are giving body in this shirt.
Will you
I
stop?
can't arms.
I'm the kid.
Me so much.
Look,
I'm being hating myself.
look.
Give me the tea.
I had to
Give me
look.
tea.
So let's get into the shits a little bit.
Look, after you
I
say
want
we ain't doing all that.
right. I want you to know. I want to know why. You seem like an interesting addition to the show. Why not cast yourself in the show?
That's so funny because I feel like I get that the most is why am I not on the show? Why am I not in front of the scenes? I love being in front of the scenes. I do a little bit of both. Well, really when it comes to acting and when it comes to dancing, I have no problem being in front of the scenes. For me, when I started out, I was approached about the show, not this show particularly, but reality television. It was for me to be in front of the scenes. But, I felt like the producer that I was working with at the time, she wasn't moving. And I like to make moves. So if you're going to say something, let's make sure that we kind of move forward to that. And I felt like she wasn't doing that. So I told her, let me be a good addition to, your project. Let me help produce it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But within a month, we had full cast, production, and we were starting. So from there, I knew that I could be able to do it. And I'm talking about that was me at 19. I'm not 21. Okay? So for me, I knew that I could be able to do it because I don't like to play games. So if we're saying that we're going to do something and I mean it and you say that you mean it, I like to just move forward. So for me, that was, that was the biggest thing, is just for us to move forward. But the reason why I don't think me being on reality television is the thing for me, I feel like I'm a little too private. I feel like certain things, I myself, I'm okay with that mystery. I love being able to be inspiring, and I love to be able to kind of speak and say things that are on my mind. But I feel like a lot of that I want to kind of keep a mystery when it comes to myself, for sure. I'm a Virgo. My birthday's September 4th, just like Beyonce. Hey, bye. Just like Beyonce. So, sometimes things a mystery, okay?
Hello.
Like, everything, okay? So, I think that's the reason why. And I love to be able to control things and be able to create things. And it just felt good. It feels good being able to, put something together and be able to literally create something from scratch, and see it come to life. Like, I think those are the most dopest moments for me.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna piggyback off the cast question, since you're not gonna put yourself in that. How did you decide on this cast? Because you did a phenomenal job. It's a piece of this person, a piece of that person. Like, how? I'm pretty sure you had a buttload of people trying to get on.
Yes. So when we first started out, it was people that we reached out to, and it was some people that reached out to us. What I will say when it comes to these castmates, every single last person on this show, I'm so blessed that I'm so blessed that they're a part of this process, and they're a part of this journey for me. Because when I first started out and I was trying to do it by myself the first time around, it's really difficult for people to kind of trust in your work when they haven't seen anything that you've done, when you are a young man, and when, I look the way that I look. Sometimes I feel like people kind of don't take certain things seriously. You know what I mean? So for these guys to completely trust in me and trust that I was going to say it, and I was going to be able to provide it, I'm so appreciative. They literally trust in my word, and I'm thankful for all of them for sure. But when it came to picking the cast members, like I said, I reached out to some people. Some people reached out to us. My biggest goal was that I was trying to make sure that they were appealing for the eyes. Because sometimes that's what helps. You know what I mean? People
No,
see
it does.
it.
It does.
Yeah, they're attracted to it. Then they want to actually see, what that person is bringing to the table. And I wanted to make sure that I got different personalities. And I was getting personalities that were opposite from the other person, if that makes sense. So I wanted to make sure I got somebody that was loud, and then probably got somebody that was quiet. And see, I really wanted to create a brotherhood between them as well. I wanted to put them in different environments. I did not want them. I wanted them to be like. I wanted them to be annoyed with the other person. I wanted them to be like, okay, I've never been around these types of people. If that makes sense,
Right.
I wanted them to, be uncomfortable being around certain people, because I feel like that's a great way for people to kind of learn and grow. And when you're around people that you're not usually around, you're able to grow, you're able to learn, you're able to be sympathetic when it comes to certain things. And yeah, that was the goal.
And you know what? That also helps for those people that are watching, that are those people that are uncomfortable in front of, because you have to let everybody relate. And nobody is wrong in their feelings, regardless of how wrong somebody else may think they are. And
Absolutely.
a lot of the times, ignorance comes from being uneducated. And
Yes.
so when they're uneducated, it's good for you to have scenes where people are uncomfortable. Let's say, bring up like Akeem and Milan scene,
Yes.
where it's like, because there are people out here, even in our community, that feel the same way Akeem feels.
Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
Why is this boy walking around with a wig and a mustache and not
Absolutely.
understanding what that is, because he's uneducated? So I feel like you need both parties so that the person can understand the good side and the bad side. So I'm glad that you do that, because
in order to be on a series, you need to have that type of dynamic. Period. You have to have some type of dynamic, because nothing happens. What are we watching? What are we watching for?
and it's real life. This is stuff that we go through a lot. And one thing that I'm glad that you do is have that character of Milan there, because such as my brother and other people that I know, that androgyny field is really not touched.
You gave me a character, JAH. You gave me somebody to see.
It's really not touched. It's either gay boy or trans. And not to say that's bad things or anything like that, but that middle lane where you don't identify with a gay boy, but you don't identify with a trans, that you're like in that middle, who talks for them. And I feel like that was genius. It was brilliant to have somebody like Milan come out and have the personality that she does, because he makes it.
That was about to be.
Yes, she embodies it. That's amazing.
Absolutely. When it came to casting, I knew exactly what I was doing. It was not like I was just getting random people.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people sent in audition tapes, and I did not connect with those type of people. I knew, and even if I personally didn't connect with a certain cast member, I still felt like somebody would connect with them.
Right.
And that was a great point that you brought up, that situation or that scene between Milan and Hakeem. I feel like that moment was a really interesting moment, because there is people that think like that. And I wanted to shed light on his ignorance that he was, spewing in that episode, in that scene. You know what I mean? I wanted to shed light on it, because I wanted somebody to say, I wanted people that actually think like that to actually look at themselves in the mirror.
Be like, oh my God, what I look like?
Yes,
this is how I sound, and this is what I look like. And hopefully that can be, once they can see that reflection, they can possibly change their mindsets. And sometimes, either you can speak it to someone and let them know, okay, this is what's wrong. But sometimes people need to see reflections. And once they actually see that reflection, then they're able to be like, okay, I may need to change the way I'm doing this, or I need to adjust myself just a little bit, or I need to think differently. And I think that's really, honestly, that's the ultimate goal when it comes to this show. If we can be able to inspire somebody or change somebody's mindset that is probably thinking negative about the community, then that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to also entertain within that, because if we're able to bring viewers in by entertainment and by the drama and all the cattiness, then hopefully they can be able to see the bigger picture. Because I promise you, every single episode, every single scene, if you really pay attention, you can really be inspired by all of it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I agree. I agree. You touched on a lot of things that we go through as a community, let alone what the world goes through. So you touch on a lot of things, bullying. Yeah, you know, because even that, you know, that scene where they was outside the club of Corday's when Corday was performing, and they was talking about Milan and looking like Pocahontas and stuff like that, and going in, and you know, Adrian came in and said, "Hey, don't do all that." Like you know, there's a scene for everything, and you're right. It's very inspiring and all.
It's a beautiful dynamic.
So, getting into the episodes, watching it back, okay, you're filming it, you're the producer, okay, you got everything going, you're editing. Now, watching it back and getting the response that you're getting, what is that moment like? Is that exciting? Are you overwhelmed? Is it scary?
All of the above?
Yeah, so once the episode airs, I'm shaking in my boots because it's like, okay, I don't know what people are going to think. I don't know how people are going to feel about it. Sorry. I don't know how people are going to feel about it. So it's very nerve-wracking for me. But once it's out, and it's probably been about 3 or 4 days, I'll sit back and actually watch it on YouTube. And when I say I get a key out of just watching it, like I watch it, I don't watch it as a producer, I watch it as a fan, and I absolutely love the show. Honestly, as a fan. Like, not even like, oh, it's my show. It's like, like literally watching back at it, I'm getting a laugh. And so it's always really dope to actually see it after the fact. And it's always so dope to be able to actually do, see how much work we put into it when it comes to, us shooting it, and then after that, trying to edit it, and then actually seeing it come to life all together is always super, super dope for me.
Yeah, that I could imagine that. I mean, because like I believe, and most people might think it's biased, but I understand because honestly, I don't think you should produce something that you don't like.
Right.
So it'll be crazy for you not to like it, because not for nothing, I watch our shows back, all of our shows, and I watch it like if I am a fan, and I laugh like if I didn't say the things that we said, and I wasn't just there. So like I understand that commitment, and honestly, I would think it was weird that you didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you can produce something that you actually enjoy doing. Getting into today's episode, which I know everybody is like, what's going on? Look, you know what it was? that trailer got everybody. You feel me? So let's go on with today's episode. So I know that's what everybody's waiting for, to see what's going on. So what happened with today, and why did we get another special?
Okay, so pretty much what happened was there was some footage that was deleted. So I have to get that recovered. And the thing about me is that I would feel completely disgusted if I sat there and gave you guys half-ass shit. You know what I mean? When it came to, and I can be completely honest, episode 5, technically, which was the deleted scenes episode, I'm not proud of that. It wasn't necessarily the episode itself. I was mad that it was not uploaded in HD. I wasn't proud of that. And that's not a feeling I ever want to feel again. I never want to look back at it and be like, okay, I'm not feeling this. I'm not with this.
Right.
I want to be able to look back at it and be completely proud of it completely. So I'm not going to rush out anything. What I am going to do is make sure that I'm pushing myself even harder than I have been. Yes, definitely harder than I have been.
Spoke to my soul.
Yes. Pushing myself completely harder than I have been, so that I can be able to produce and put out, content that people are going to really enjoy, that I'm going to look back in a couple years and be like, yes, this is epic. This is everything. So that's definitely the goal.
Well, look, there you go. Look, that's it. Well, I love it.
That's when we were talking about that when you popped up. I was like, oh, because y'all had spoke. I didn't know. I'm just like, It's gone. Like they're not doing it today. And then when you got it was like, I'm not giving y'all no half-ass mess. I was like,
Yes, no, I'm not.
and people
I'm
don't.
not. I'm gonna make sure that first of all, the next half of the season, I know what we have, and I know it's iconic. And I'm not talking about just the fighting, because those are moments that for me was really difficult to film. But I'm talking about the storylines itself, and I'm excited for what's to come. And that's why I'm going to push it, and I'm going to make sure that I'm giving you guys exactly what you guys need and exactly what you guys deserve.
Just presented it properly.
Yeah. And you know what I love? I love the transparency.
Yes.
The fact that you could come up here, I love the transparency.
And
The
say
fact
the
that you could
fighting
come
and-
up here and
and
be
what
like, look, this is what happened. I delete it, it got deleted.
Mhm.
Last
Gotcha.
episode I really didn't like. It wasn't in HD, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna come even hard. Like
Mhm.
that's
We
real.
growing with you.
Yes.
Like, and that's beautiful. Most people don't get to see that.
But that's reality TV. That's what I love about you guys, because a lot of reality TV don't seem reality.
It ain't real.
You know?
Yeah.
And this aspect of it. And what I did love about this episode and last week's episode was the raw footage. It didn't seem like
It was just
them talking, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It didn't seem like it was a scripted, because even when you watch like Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop, you watch the deleted scenes, it still looks edited. It's still like whatever. But you guys y'all were talking in the midst of it. It just felt real. It felt like I was a part of everything, which for me as a viewer, I enjoyed.
That's everything.
You know, I enjoy it because you see the creativeness behind it, you see the rawness of it.
And
So
if you're somebody who really support it and you get into, that's what you should feel. You know what I'm saying? You should feel like, I want to be a part of that. I support y'all, so I want to feel like I'm right there, rooting you on behind the scenes. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So shout out, your team is banging, but banging. Y'all do a great job. Oh my god.
So I want to know what aspect of the show are you like, okay, this is my favorite part. Have we seen it yet? Is it something that's happened yet? Or is this like a moment that is like, that calls out to you that you just can't get out your head?
Is there a moment that calls out to me that I can't get out of my head? I think it's so many different scenes that I'm really proud of, that makes me feel really, really good looking back at it and knowing that it's coming. I think a powerful scene. I think when they get vulnerable are like powerful scenes for me. And I mean, even looking back at those moments where things turned physical. Those are powerful scenes for me because we're not, and I noticed that there's some people that feel like certain things are scripted or that it's fake. Absolutely not. I remember those moments. For me, I felt completely disgusted. I was scared. For me, it was, okay, what did I get myself into? What have I created? I felt like I made a fool of the community, and that was not the goal. So for me, it was hard shooting those scenes. But the only reason why we decided to keep them in the show and also to showcase them is because those were real moments. And I'm hoping that people can kind of get out of it that there's different lines of communication. Just you don't have to be physical just to communicate. You know what I mean? And that's not me just trying to sound deep just to sound deep. No, that's not honest truth. And I feel like once people actually see those episodes and see those scenes, they'll understand what I'm trying to say. But those were like the hardest scenes for me. But any scene that I think was like the most dopest scene. Let's go back to the last episode. I thought, I honestly, and it's sad because I feel like a lot of people kind of, made a lot of, had a lot of problems or had a lot of things to say when it came to Corday's performance. But that honestly was a really iconic performance. And I'm not saying that it really was a good performance. When it comes to, camera, sometimes things can get distorted, but that was a
Right.
really, really good performance. And when it comes to episode 3, I think those moments where I think that moment between Milan and Zafar was a really dope moment. And that was a very vulnerable
Agreed.
moment for Milan. And I feel like Milan was able to go into a place and go into a space of like, okay, let me be honest and let me be real. And I feel like I'm hoping that somebody was able to see that and think differently or be semi-inspired or I'm hoping that it was able to evoke some type of emotion.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what the entertainment business is all about. Being able to evoke some type of
Feeling, yeah,
emotion.
some type of feeling. Yep.
Yeah.
JAH has
Yeah.
got all the right ingredients for a show. Did y'all? If y'all, that should be inspiration right there. Y'all should have had pen and paper and writing this stuff down. That is all the perfect. And this is why we stuck right in front of the screen every day.
It is. It's
Yes.
it's the momentum of the episode prior that makes you so into getting into the next episode, and for you to keep an audience every 2 weeks.
I know.
It's even harder than to keep it. You know what I'm saying? So, and people are waiting, and your show is doing some numbers,
Okay,
not no
yeah.
little numbers. Like your show is doing some numbers. So, with all of that in mind, with where it's going, where do you want to go with the show? Where do you proceed the show going? Later.
Are we hustling outside of Atlanta one day? You know?
I know exactly where it's going for season 2. I know exactly where it's going. The goal for me is to definitely do bigger and better. You know what I mean? This is just a platform. I want to create bigger and better things. I want to do bigger and better things. And when it comes to the show, it's definitely going to be bigger and better things. And that's the honest truth. That's not me just saying it just to say it. I know what it is. So that's the absolute goal for this. Yeah,
Well, I believe it because every episode has gotten better and better to me. So I agree with what you say. It's going to be bigger and better. Now, when I bigger and better. Now, is there going to be a season 2 of Atlanta, or do you break off and franchise to another city?
Yes, I definitely want to go to different places. I definitely want to go to New York. I'm originally from New York, so I definitely want to go to New York. Yes, I definitely want to go to LA. I want to go to a lot of different places for sure. So yes, I definitely plan on going to a lot of different states for sure.
Yes, that is cute. You know what? It's inspiring. I have an idea in my head that I've been wanting to work out. I actually did like a casting call for it and everything. And what it was I wanted to see the feedback. And we actually got an overwhelming feedback response on the show that I wanted to kind of create, whatever. I don't want to broadcast out here because I don't want nobody to steal my stuff. But I'll hit you up and let you know. But you know what I want to do? I want to bring more light to North Carolina because I feel like a lot of people skip over North Carolina. And North Carolina has a lot to give, and there's a lot of talented and amazing people out here. So and we do good barbecue. No, but I'm actually gonna have to try to see if I can put an audition tape in for season 2 of ATL Hustle because shoot, have to show what's going on.
Okay.
Nah, but so again, so we got the next half of the episode. Since this episode, does it come back on next week, or do you have a new date? When is the next episode?
I gave it to you like Nicki Minaj by pushing it back. I am going to give it to you like Beyonce by just putting out when it needs to be put it out. You know what I mean? And when it drops, it's going to drop, and you guys are going to hopefully enjoy it. That's the goal. To have you guys enjoy it. But another thing also, what I wanted to say, I think, just thinking about that question, scenes that were really dope to me, and there's so many different scenes that were dope to me, but I guess I'll just kind of go in from episodes. I already said 3 and I already said 4. I think episode 1, I think that networking party was a really interesting scene. And that moment where Sherrod went outside and he was very vulnerable at that moment, That was a very real moment. It was
Yes,
not,
it
oh,
was.
let's just do it for the cameras. It's nothing that we've done has just been, oh, let's just do it for the cameras.
You can
Yes,
honestly
of course,
could.
we have to manipulate things for things to make sense and for us to get the right shots, but we do not manipulate how they actually feel and what actually happens. So when it came to Sherrod, that was a really vulnerable scene, and I felt to myself, at, I felt at that moment I was really scared because for me I was like, okay, should I be recording this? Because he was really upset, and I didn't know, that was like our first big scene that we was doing because everybody was there, but I didn't know if I wanted to record it because I didn't feel comfortable recording someone really being vulnerable in that moment and crying and feeling like how he was feeling. Another scene from that episode that was really hard for me, which is so weird, but it was hard for me because. I'm gonna explain why it was hard for me, but the scene in with Charlie when he was at the studio,
Okay.
and he saw Sherrod's tape. That was a real moment. People think that was manipulated, but that was a real moment. And Charlie's reaction to it scared me because I thought once when he reacted to it, he was actually in shock, and I feel like he thought that okay, did I get myself into something that is not necessarily for me? And for me, it scared me because I did not want him to back out, and I did not want to create something that was going to be semi-negative to the community. I feel like a lot of people, I think one of the comments that kind of kill me the most is when I see things that say, "Oh, this is disrespectful to the community," or things like that. For me, it's like every community, whether it be white, black, gay, straight, has their moments. And, I feel like this show shows a lot of conflict, and that's life. I feel like everybody has conflict. When you wake up in the morning, you decide what shirt you're going to wear with what pants. That's a conflict. Conflict is going to happen. So it's all about how you actually peep those conflicts and how you actually deal with those conflicts. Does that make sense?
But yes, it
So
makes perfect sense.
Dollars.
Yes. So for me, those are the moments that I'm trying to showcase in the show. Okay, yes, they have these conflicts, they have these problems, they have these issues. How are they going to communicate? How are they going to solve it? And I want people to be able to see it and be like, okay, maybe I should solve certain problems like this, or maybe I should not solve certain problems like this. You know what I mean? From what I just saw. If that makes sense. When it comes to conflict. But yeah, that was a really hard moment for me because I felt like, okay, maybe I kind of messed up by creating this situation and having him actually see it and having him actually search it up and actually see it. I thought he was completely done with the show at that moment, for real.
And look, I would never think
I wouldn't have thought that way.
that he would have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think until you are in those shoes. It's like, oh my gosh,
I was
what if
shocked.
he leaves?
Yeah,
I don't think like that. I would have never thought about that. Like, that's crazy.
Like that. It was very much like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do?
Wow.
That moment, the moment with Sherrod crying at his party, that moment, I think for episode 2, that moment between Hakeem and Milan, and they got so heated. For me, again, it was like, okay, I do not want to sit here and try to disrespect this community and disrespect this platform. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that I showed the realness of it all because it was real stuff and it was what was really going on. So that's what I battled with for a long time when it came to certain scenes, for sure.
I never would have even thought that would have been an issue. Like, here go the camera. This is what I gotta do. But
I
you
want
gotta
to
look
ask
at
you
their life
something
like
that it just
Um,
registered to me that I wanted to ask you before, but it came to me now. Back to casting. I want to know, which a lot of people are like, okay, Akeem. What was your thought process on Akeem? And when you booked him, and when you cast him, was it like, okay, I need him because he's gonna give me what I need, or what was that about?
Cause I need to know.
So when Hakeem was introduced to the show, so I worked with Hakeem before because I'm actually an actor and I acted on Trade. So I've worked with Akeem before. when it came to reality television, I didn't know how he was going to act. I didn't know anything about him. I kind of got, introduced to the whole idea of him being on the show through KL. And KL, had him for his show. And he told me about him, and honestly, I wasn't for it because I just didn't feel like it made sense. I didn't feel like it matched until I got to know Hakeem's story. I think I feel like when people actually see the real, and you guys will be able to see it at the end of this season for sure. But when you guys actually see what's really going on, then your mindset will change. You know what I mean? So when it comes to Hakeem, I didn't care for him. I'm gonna be completely honest, and I love him to death, but I didn't care for him to be on the show until I saw what he brought, and what he brought was another form of dialogue that I felt like was needed.
Mm. That's interesting because I don't like to judge, especially since we've been doing this show, regardless of how I feel about whatever cast member, because we do Chasing Dallas as well.
Yeah.
Regardless of how we feel about any cast member, I try not to be biased myself, and
Yeah.
I try not to be. I really do. But inside, I have my feelings, whatever. But every time we have the cast member, they completely change my mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, like, it lets me realize that's only one aspect of what
It's
we're
one
seeing.
dimension. It's one
Yes.
dimension.
Yes.
You
It's
know,
one dimension.
and we're judging off of this one part of it's a 30 to an hour show, and
Yes.
maybe this cast member then had maybe out of the whole show 7 minutes collectively
And you still
in footage, and yet we judge their whole life based off of that.
Hey, you know me, John. I know you watch the show,
Are
and
you
I be telling.
are you paused?
No, oh, he's frozen. Looking like a Persian puss. Yeah. He's so.
Jai, you still with us? You probably got a call or something. So you shared this live. Oh yeah, went away. What's going on, Seven? So we're gonna wait for Jai to come back through before we end.
We get to hear this stuff like the inside, because even like we were
Exclusive.
just talking about the one dimension, you only see that one aspect of the situation, and now we have the producer up here telling us this is planned out, this is mapped out, and we got to think like that even as viewers. Like, they got to get ratings, they got to get their views and stuff like that, so they're not gonna give us the full judge. But there's more episodes to come. You got a piece.
You got a piece of
every
together.
time, just like you said. Every time we leave one episode, we like this. Oh my god, I gotta wait another week for this. Gotta wait another. Come on, I want to know what happens. Go ahead, Ja.
They doing their damn thing. They definitely doing their damn thing. I don't know what happened. Must have kicked him off real quick. So we're gonna wait a little bit to check, see if we can get him back. That has been an amazing conversation with Ja, and this is exclusively here and only
here on the
Royal Couch. You get the back ends of what's going on. I know a lot of you guys was confused and like, what's going on? I was waiting for the actual episode to air. We was gonna meet December, and there's actually another cast member that we need to meet as well. So I'm excited about all of this. So as he said here now, he's gonna be dropping it whenever. So it could be tomorrow, could be Wednesday, could be Thursday, could be Sunday. Who knows?
Be right after this live.
It could be right after this live.
You just never,
You know. So I don't know if his phone died or what's going on. Did you ever ask?
I don't think so. Let me see.
So guys, I just wanted to say before we let go, we're gonna stay around for just a little bit longer to see if he comes back on. I do want to thank all our viewers and supporters that's been riding with us for so long. Has started off with the Royal Couch. With who was it? Jarrell.
Yeah, Prancing Elite.
From Prancing Elite all the way to Maya. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
So we're doing big things.
Some folks now.
We done had some folks.
Oh
Alexis Branch, Dondre Nicole, Ada.
Pepe.
AD.
Dick the kicks.
AD.
Okay.
Shout out to our sponsor.
Okay.
There he is. He's back live and direct. We're gonna get him.
Just a little bit. Respect.
I'm sorry.
Five. You're five.
Oh,
You're
God.
five. Look, you're fine. Look, this is what happens on live. We love it. It's raw. It's personal. It's your real life. So it's all good.
Side note. Is this your house?
No, it's not actually. This is actually Sherrod's house. I'm kidding. This is actually where we actually shot Sherrod's event situation. No tea, no shade. But this is actually KL's house. So yeah, I came over here to actually do the green screens for tonight's episode actually. So I came over here to do that, and yeah, so I'm at his house right now.
Okay.
I was asking. I was gonna say, did you do that behind you?
Like, what's going on? There's some talent.
KL's Creations, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
KL. You better do it. Multiple bags.
Okay.
Look.
So we say hey.
So what?
Tell him we say hey.
I will. He went to the club, you know.
What was you remember where we was at?
We was
The
talking
ones
about
I mentioned.
the scenes.
We were just talking about. I know we ended with
How we
King.
picking people like you be talking about. How
yeah.
Because I was like, you know me, JAH. I watch, and you watch our show, and I say it all the time. Now I don't like this person. This until this and turn. They pop on this live, and I gotta look at King and be like, yo, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then I've learned, I don't get into a lot of the TV shows unless this one puts me on to something, which he's done a phenomenal job because I love your show.
Thank you.
So when I do get into them, I'm very critical because I'm quick fast. I don't like this mess. I don't like this. I'd rather draw a picture or do something else. TV and web series is just not in me, but like I watch it and I'm like, we get on the show, I'm like, oh my God, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, so the way you just explain how you produce things and the things that you have in store for us, you can tell. That's completely obvious because I'll be thrilled by the next episode anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so kudos to you for that.
Oh, thank you. And I mean, like you said, it is very much so a small portion of their life. And people have to understand that, we are shooting for example, like we'll shoot a scene. It'll probably be 4 to 3 hours, or 5 to 3 hours, or 3 to 5 hours. Yeah. And we have to literally not only make that scene about a 3 to 4 or 5 minutes scene. It has to not only be that short, it has to make sense, and it has to be entertaining. So imagine that. So it's a lot that goes into trying to, create these things. And I know a lot of people just like, kind of have these ideas of what they think their personalities are. And it's a extension of their personalities, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's the best out of them, and sometimes you're seeing the worst out of them. For a lot of them, sometimes that's really their personalities.
And you know what? I am a TV geek. Like how people are with music and books, I am with my TV.
Yeah.
And I've been watching reality TV since True Life, Flavor of Love, all back in the day. You know what I mean? All of that stuff. And College Hill, all of that. So I do know. Right. Hello. I do know that when you have a cast, you have to have. Not that you have to be portrayed, but there's different looks and personalities you want to portray because you don't want the same thing always.
Right.
And you have to relate to different people. So when you're casting and when you're editing, you have to, if and let's just say if you're going to be the humanitarian, then you have to be that throughout the whole episode, throughout the whole show, so that we can cast you as that. If you're gonna be the bad guy, then you're the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like the Kenya Moore, the Carly Red and stuff like that. Sometimes you gotta be, Carly Red is not all bad because they show sweet moments and they show her loyalty to but she's the messy one. She's always been since the first season. So that's the kind of character they portray because that's what we gravitate to.
Yes.
So, I can understand like with Corday. I love Corday. You know why? Because I feel like Corday, to me, for me, is one of the most relatable,
Mm.
especially in our community, in that limelight scene.
Yeah.
You have to get, he portrays that nightlife, you know, kind of a, let's just quote unquote A-lister scene, that, the popular people. And this is how the popular people be. You don't go out with your friends and be at the club or be at a friend's house like, girl, why
Yeah.
are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why is this like, no, you cannot sit with me. And he knows when we go out, don't nobody can sit with us. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So I understand. So it's more. I love his personality because it's more real. I feel like it's real, the fact that he's acting like that.
I think, and I guess just because we're speaking about Corday, when it comes to Corday, I don't think he necessarily has the attitude of, oh, you can't sit with us. I think a lot of it stems from, I feel like he's kind of just reserved and just shy about certain things. So it's like, certain people may just like, to him, like scare him, like, okay. But I think that's what it is. But yeah.
I love it. The cast is great.
Everything is great.
And everybody.
Everything is great.
Eye candy. Everybody's eye candy.
That's good.
I'm not gonna talk about that, John. Yeah, you
So-
already know how I get. Yeah, you picked some good lookers up there, boo. You did that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what's
And
next
that's
for?
represent me.
Hello, and that they do.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what's next? Not only for G Stats, well, we talked about
For
what's
you.
next for G Stats, but what's next for JAH? What's your next project? Do you have anything more coming out? What's going on?
Yes. For me, I think for a long time I battled with trying to balance everything, trying to be behind the scenes and try to produce something and create something, but also be in front of the scenes. And I think there was a disconnect for me. And as much as I want to be Beyonce and do it all, it's not that easy when you are a small guy and you're independent and you don't have ATL. It's very difficult. So for me, I've noticed that I kind of have to just focus on either 2 to 3 things at a time. I want to finish this project. And once I'm done with this project, I have things in the works. But for me, I want to finish this project or finish the season. And then you'll see plenty more. Trust me. This is not even the first step. This is not even the first. This is not even the beginning. This is literally just like the beginning. Like there's so much. Like I said, I'm only 21. There's so much more to come. I have there's bigger ambitions that I want to create for myself, and I plan on, having those things happen for sure.
Hallelujah.
Yes, for 21.
Yes.
Yes, do it. I love Black entrepreneurs, and then to be young Black and gay entrepreneurs,
Thank
you better
you.
do it. Young Black attractive gay entrepreneurs. Look, the list can go on and on. What, young, attractive, gay, body entrepreneurs? No, but
Like a whole tootsie roll.
a whole tootsie roll.
Thank you.
No, I honestly wanted to say just congratulations on
We've been waiting for this
everything.
interview.
Thank
You picked that good call.
It has been amazing to watch everything unfold. I do want to ask a quick question. I reached out to you, and I just want to know for our personal, reference. I reached out to you, and you agreed. You started watching some of the shows. We had some interviews. I just wanted to know and we spoke about it, but is there anything that you would like to see more of? Is there anything that you
when it comes
you don't
to
like, you do like? Yes, as far as this
I
representing your show.
I can honestly say that you guys are really everything. You guys are doing so good. I absolutely love you guys. And I'm not just saying that, not trying to be cute. No, I'm serious. You guys are really doing your shit. And it feels good to see. I'm so blessed to be a part of it. I'm so blessed to be a part of you guys' journey. I'm blessed that you guys are a part of our journey. You guys are really doing it. And please do not stop. It's so needed, and it feels good to see. It feels good to be around. It's inspiring. Please do not stop. Do not stop, and that's the honest truth. And I feel like what you guys are doing is dope. I love it. 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 Honestly,
Thank you.
and that's not honest truth. If I did not feel it, I just would be like, no, you guys are good, and just leave it at that. You guys are really doing it, and it's so dope because I feel like, you know, of course, once you guys actually reached out to us, that's the first time I actually peeped you guys. And what was dope is actually to see the growth. You guys are continuing to grow, and it's like it's iconic to see for me.
Oh wow.
It really
Thank you.
is.
I really like to, you know, I like to know this stuff and not just to hear people talk about it, but I like to hear feedback and real feedback. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like, you know, you will give real feedback, and you being an entrepreneur and in this field of, you know, the camera lights and stuff like that. Like it's just good to know. And I appreciate you because honestly, letting us join your journey,
exactly.
it shows a lot for us, and it makes us step up, you know, be on our toes to make sure. Yeah, let me tell you, if y'all haven't checked it now, gstatusatlhustle.com. You know what I mean? Look, what we was on it. I was like, okay, front page. Hello. No, but honestly,
that's the moment.
Everything has been a blessing, and there's a lot more to come. You know, there's more things in store, and you know, we hope to work with you guys more.
Forever.
Season 2, season 3, season 4. You know what I'm saying? This is an exclusive here now from JAH himself, letting us know what's going on. Hello. Actor. Is there any
producer, babe? The producer.
Okay.
Producer. Hello.
Okay.
So before we end it, did you have anything else you wanted to?
What do you put on your face? You know, I'll get right on another question. Because you be glout when I tell you.
I put a little bit of everything, you know, a little bit of everything. As in a little bit of Mac, a little bit of Fancy Beauty, a little bit of, you know, God, you know, creation.
Yes, for God.
I'm gonna have to come on over there.
Look, you got to.
Folks makeup, because baby, have you been through the pictures?
Yeah, yes, I've been to.
You know, you the social. Listen, y'all know I don't do the Instagram and the Facebook and stuff. I be cute up there, but when I go up there, it's like I do like it's just a really good feeling to see a young black gay man, and it's like you don't give the stereotype on his, you know, on his profiles and stuff like that. It's just real, and that's what I'm saying.
It's real melody.
That mode, I like it.
So
had to get in.
My partner likes to ask everybody last question.
Oh, you trying
one last question about our community. So go ahead.
Go ahead. You done set it up.
I said my partner likes to sing.
Look, here you go. So what is the one thing that you feel like in our community that we're lacking?
I think the one thing that we're lacking. Oh, that's a great question. Compassion.
Say again?
Compassion.
Oh, okay. That fashion. I was like, we have not got
No. Compassion. I feel like when people kind of I feel like, and where that stems from for me, I feel like a lot of people are so quick to bash and belittle other people, and it's really just to make you feel good about yourself. But I think a lot of people just need to strive to be as positive as they can be, and strive to see the beauty in people, and strive to, and I feel like a lot of people, where that stems from is insecurity. So, you know, I feel like a lot of people just need to be secure within themselves. Because once you're secure within yourselves, then you won't feel like you need to damage other people just to feel good about yourself. So you have to be secure within yourself. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Look, brave.
Okay, person. Give me all a person cat, right? Just. Yes. I live.
Look, you have been an amazing guest. you have honestly shed some light on some really
Yeah.
inspirational things, some really deep things,
Some things
and
I needed to
I'm
hear.
glad we can have this platform to share all of these experiences, and you can share your life because you're not on the show, so people don't get into your life
Yeah.
the way they can get into theirs and stuff like that. Even when you're acting, you're portraying another character.
Mm-hmm.
So with this, it's kind of more or less, we know who Corday is, we know who Sherrod is, we know, but now that we get to get into your life and get to know who you are as a
Yeah.
person, and you are incredible.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you
Yes, thank you
for producing
Really
such an amazing
appreciate that.
show.
for letting us read your storybook because it's a good
And
story.
yes,
Yes.
definitely. Before we let you go, is there anything else would you like to let the audience know?
Yes. So, first things first. Stay tuned for the rest of the season, and I will be back at the end of the season for sure. Please stay tuned, and please try your hardest to pay attention to the bigger picture. It's not just all about the drama. That's all cutes and giggles, but please pay attention to the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like I said, stay tuned. And another thing, I really want to thank you guys because for me, it's a blessing. And I don't know if you guys felt like, okay, you guys were like you guys were talking to the top man or anything like that. But for me, you guys coming to me and letting me know that you guys wanted to be a part of this journey was dope because sometimes people don't want to support and people don't and it's unfortunate in our community, but that's really what it is. And it feels good for somebody to say, yo, I see you. I think that feels good. I see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, look, it feels even better for you to see us back.
Exactly. To be seen is wonderful.
Because you guys all have a name for yourselves, and we just started our name. And for the love and support that we've been getting, it's been tremendous. And
Exactly.
it's on the help of you guys.
Your audience loves us. Like
we
Yes.
started our YouTube channel. We started our YouTube channel when we started this
right.
after show.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of my subscribers.
Okay. Yes.
I'm proud of my
We get
views I've
comments
been
and
getting.
stuff,
We get a
yeah.
lot of views. There's people who really support. And that's dope because you know what? Us joining you wouldn't have allowed us to get on YouTube and create a whole nother platform for ourselves that is actually blowing us up more than we can even think about,
And I'm happy that you guys are on YouTube. I'm super happy that you guys are on YouTube.
Yes, I'm excited about YouTube as well. So
YouTube.
there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more things to come, and
we need to get on that get on reality, the reunion.
Yeah,
I know there's.
And listen, we're gonna definitely talk for sure.
Look, we're gonna talk. Yeah, I have no worry. Look, my God is good. Look, my God is good, and I prayed on it, so my God is good.
For sure.
No, but again, thank you. Let everybody know your social media again, and also let them know the G Status social media as well.
Yeah, so you guys can follow me. My personal page is JAH Kitasa, JAHJAHKITAII. And then you guys can follow the G Status page. The G Status. I'm not going to spell all that out. G Status ATL. Very simple. And then you guys can, of course, go to the website where you'll see, the Royal Couch. You'll see us and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we don't really have other social medias. I know there's like fake accounts out there, but yeah, we really just have Instagram and of course YouTube, and then of course the website.
Hello? Well, you got people.
We only have that one.
We
have one Instagram. All those other Instagrams, we only have one Instagram. It's G Status ATL Hustle, spelled out just like that. No dashes, no underscore.
Okay, so the G Status T, the G Status.
None of that is ours. None of that is ours.
None of that is.
Sorry. The only thing that is ours is the G Status paparazzi. So that is ours. But G Status and G Status paparazzi.
Okay, look at that for your fan pages.
Okay.
Hello.
It's a lot, but I don't want people to get misconstrued because I see certain things on there, and I don't want people to think that it's from us or it's
Right. Because they do the G status T. They be finding all the T.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, this has been amazing again.
It's like I get therapy when we have. Am I a host or am I a person watching the daggone show? Because I be getting my feelings.
We both. Look, thank you again.
Right.
Thank you.
It has been an amazing experience.
A pleasure, an
and
honor, a blessing.
A great eye. You know, eye-catching show. Honestly, you have done your best. Honestly, and I know your best is still more to come.
Right.
So we're ready for when this Beyonce moment comes for this drop.
Yes.
But keep me in tune so I can get the interview set up right.
Okay.
No,
Gotta be on camera when he walk down that red carpet, produce, act a job.
Hello? So again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a part of this. Yes.
You know me. Thank you. Because I'm gonna cry later. You know that's what I do.
Nice.
That's all.
Keep doing your thing. Tell KL that shout out to him as well.
You said who?
KL.
Oh yes, KL. Yes. I will. I'll let him know. And also, when you guys do your thumbnails, please make sure you guys get a cute picture of me. Don't have me looking crazy on these thumbnails on YouTube.
Oh, I got you, boo. I got you.
Okay. Thank you
How can
guys.
you get a bad picture of him though?
Thank you guys.
Probably digging his nose gonna be editorial.
Do I just click off?
Yeah, we'll click it off.
We
Yeah,
got you, baby. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was amazing.
I'm sick and tired of interviewing these cute ass people when they smart, they pay, they look.
Child 20. 21.
Only
Good
21
God.
and a half.
Let me tell you something, guys. I want to leave off on this. Make sure y'all ain't got no motherfucking excuse. And I'm gonna curse my right now. Y'all ain't got no motherfucking excuses why you ain't doing what you gotta do. Go for it, all of you. Don't use nothing as an excuse. Everything that is stopping you, remember, it is an excuse. He is 21 with his own show, over 100,000 views, actor, entrepreneur. He is doing his thing at 21. I don't want to hear shit. So go up, get up, and go for it. Actor, songwriter, musician. I don't give a fuck what you are. If you are a good ass fucking maid, fucking be the best Consuela that you fucking can be. Go get that shit.
What he said. Hugs and kisses time, my bitches.
Mwah.
Real deep on that moment, bro.